Imagine standing in a foreign country, surrounded by signs, conversations, and menus in a language you don't understand. Just a few years ago, navigating that environment meant flipping through dictionaries or relying on someone bilingual. Today, with the rise of AI-powered translation tools, that barrier is fading. You point your phone at a sign, and it instantly transforms into your native language. You speak into your device, and a smooth voice relays your message in perfect Spanish, Mandarin, or... This isn't just convenient, it's revolutionary. AI in translation tools is enabling real-time communication between people who don't share a common tongue. At the heart of this breakthrough are technologies like neural machine translation, NMT, deep learning, and natural language processing. Unlike older rule-based or phrase-based translation systems that followed rigid dictionaries, modern AI systems learn from vast datasets of language use, context, and meaning. Take Google Translate as an example. In its early years, it was notorious for awkward phrasing and literal errors. But after switching to NMT, it started to understand context, distinguishing, for example, between bank as a financial institution and bank as the side of a river. This shift wasn't about adding more words to a database. It was about teaching the system to think more like a human linguist. Another game changer is Meta's AI research into universal translation. Their ambitious goal is to create models that translate directly between hundreds of languages, even rare ones, without relying on English as a middle layer. This helps preserve meaning and nuance that often gets lost in multi-step translations. It also supports linguistic diversity and opens access to digital content for underrepresented communities. But it's not just the tech giants innovating. Smaller companies and open-source projects are making their mark too. DPL, for instance, has gained popularity for offering more natural-sounding translations than even the biggest platforms. Its secret? A highly specialized neural network trained intensively on legal, technical, and conversational texts in multiple languages. Users often report that DeepL just sounds more human, especially in European language pairs. Still, translation is more than word conversion. It's cultural, emotional, and deeply contextual. This is where AI hits both its greatest strengths and its hardest limits. AI can parse grammar and syntax, but detecting sarcasm, humor, or idiomatic phrases can still trip it up. Think of phrases like kick the bucket or break a leg. A human knows these are metaphors. An AI might translate them literally, unless it's been trained on millions of idiomatic examples. In business, AI-driven translation tools have become indispensable. Global companies rely on them to localize websites, customer support, and marketing materials in dozens of languages at once. With AI, a product manual written in English can be automatically translated into Japanese, Arabic, or Portuguese, cutting costs, accelerating speed, and ensuring consistency across regions. Let's not forget voice-based AI translators, which are becoming more prominent. Devices like PocketTalk or Time Kettle's earbuds allow users to have live conversations with near real-time translation. These tools combine voice recognition, language modeling, and speech synthesis into a seamless experience. It's like having a personal interpreter in your pocket, one who doesn't need rest. But even with such advancements, challenges remain. AI translations are only as good as the data they're trained on. If a language is underrepresented online, the AI has fewer examples to learn from, which can lead to poorer translation quality. This digital gap reinforces linguistic inequality, where dominant languages like English, Chinese, and Spanish receive the most accurate translations, while indigenous or less common languages lag behind. There's also the matter of context sensitivity. AI might understand the words, but not the setting. A medical term translated from French to Swahili could lose its precision without context. In legal contracts, a mistranslated clause could have serious consequences. That's why many professionals still rely on human translators for critical content, with AI used as a first draft or assistant rather than a final authority. One fascinating development is how AI is starting to handle tone and politeness. In Japanese, for instance, there are different levels of formality, depending on the relationship between speakers. AI models, trained on culturally rich datasets, can now adjust translations to match the appropriate level of respect or familiarity, something that was nearly impossible a decade ago. Education has also felt the impact of AI translation tools. Students learning new languages now have access to instant feedback and bilingual resources. For immigrants and refugees, translation apps offer a vital bridge to access healthcare, education, and legal systems. Language no longer needs to be a barrier to basic rights or opportunities. In the entertainment industry, AI subtitles are enabling global audiences to enjoy foreign films, TV shows, and YouTube videos with greater accuracy. Netflix, for example, uses AI-assisted translation workflows to subtitle its content in over 30 languages. This not only increases viewership, but also introduces audiences to different cultures through more faithful renditions. But what about the risk of over-reliance? If people grow too comfortable with instant AI translations, do we risk losing the motivation to learn new languages altogether? Some argue yes, but others see it differently. By lowering the entry barrier, AI can spark curiosity and engagement. A traveler who starts by using a translation app might eventually pick up key phrases and develop a genuine interest in the language and culture. Ethics also come into play. Who owns the translated data? What if an AI misinterprets a political speech or censors sensitive content? Developers must grapple with these questions as AI continues to mediate global conversations. Transparency in training data, accountability for errors, and safeguards against bias are crucial for building trust. And then there's humor, the final frontier of AI translation. Telling a joke across languages is one of the hardest feats, even for humans. AI is slowly learning comedic timing, cultural nuance, and play on words, but we're still far from an app that can deliver a punchline with the same effect in multiple tongues. Despite all this, the future is bright. Researchers are exploring multimodal translation where AI considers both text and visual context, like translating a sign within a video, taking into account its surroundings. Others are training models on gestures and nonverbal cues to enhance meaning in live translations. Ultimately, AI in translation tools is doing more than bridging languages. It's reshaping how we interact across borders. It's creating a world where information flows freely, where businesses expand without linguistic walls, and where relationships form despite cultural differences. For the next generation, growing up with AI translators may mean they never experience the frustration of language isolation. But it also means a new responsibility to use these tools wisely, respectfully, and with cultural awareness. Because language is not just communication, it's identity, heritage, and emotion. In the years ahead, we can expect translation tools to become even more personalized. Imagine an AI that knows your profession, your preferred tone, and your audience. It won't just translate your words, it will tailor your message. This could be transformative for diplomacy, journalism, and international collaboration. But no matter how advanced these systems become, the human element remains irreplaceable. Language is messy, alive, and beautifully unpredictable. AI helps us navigate that landscape faster and more efficiently. But the soul of language still belongs to people. As we look forward, the question is not whether AI will replace human translators. It won't. The question is how we'll collaborate with this powerful technology to enhance mutual understanding. And perhaps in doing so, we'll find that the real gift of AI translation isn't just comprehension, it's connection. Perhaps what's most remarkable is how AI translation tools are quietly transforming our assumptions about global access. In the past, language proficiency was often a barrier to entry, professionally, socially, and intellectually. Now, a student in rural Vietnam can read academic journals in English. A farmer in Brazil can sell products across continents. A traveler in Istanbul can understand local customs and make meaningful conversation with locals, all through a small device powered by artificial intelligence. These seemingly small moments accumulate into something larger, a more connected, informed, and empathetic world. It's not just about translating text, it's about translating intention, tone, and meaning. And while we're still on that journey, each breakthrough brings us closer. So whether you're a tourist navigating a new city, a doctor consulting across languages, or simply a curious mind exploring foreign ideas, AI in translation tools is quietly empowering you to understand and be understood. And in the end, isn't that what language was always meant to do?